YouTube top 8 with Mimigol Yummy. That's right. Slayton is back at it again with this wild deck, and he's up against top tier Yummy Mitsurugi here. Obviously, the Yummy Mitsurugi deck is better, but still, Slayton could steal a win through good play or possibly a little bit of luck. Thrust is an interesting synergistic card with the deck because you give them a card and then you force them to activate that card, which will fulfill both requirements of this card. They activate a monster, they have a monster in their field, and now you get to add any spell that you want from your deck to your hand. It's quite crazy when you have that play, and we may have it, especially when comboed up with the Mimigold Maker. Now, enough of that. Let's just see what happens by watch as long as you can. That greatly supports the event. Hajime.
There can only be one winner, and you're looking at it. Let's go.
Mimigol Archfiend is activating to summon itself onto the opponent's side of the field, which will further block Fool Loss or Imperms from being activatable. Obviously, you just chain Fool Loss to this. We have already used Ash. Ash and Maxi have been used. If we draw into a Veiler, it wouldn't even be activatable. Ghost Spell has to not go to the graveyard, so that is activatable. We could Bell that, but then it's activatable during the opponent's turn again. We're going to Thrust into our hand or back. Oh my gosh. Heavy Slump with Thrust. 8 or more cards in their hand. They shuffle their hand into the deck, then only draw 2. Well, Decade, they're going to Ash this. Okay, I'm going to Herald negate the Ash. Okay, they're going to finger your Herald. Then to that, I'd say you're right, you got him. But I don't see a called by, do you? Oh, crap, there's a called by. Shoot. How does this work? We're going to have to very quickly slump. Now, Droplet can't send monsters from the hand to the grave. They could send the monsters on the field to the grave to negate the untargetable Herald, but the Herald's in the graveyard when it's activating to negate the Ash, negating the slump. This was almost very good, I guess. What do we do? Wait a second. If we slump the yeah, let's just see what happens. Player priority in the draw phase before he activates Slump. We're going to chain the Droplet right now. We're going to send 2 bodies on the field since we can't send monsters from the hand. We're also sending a Droplet. This will negate 3 bodies on the field. We're going to chain the Slump to the Droplet. You can't see it, but an Ash was activated somewhere. It was off screen. Ash is in the dual log here to negate the Heavy Slump. Okay. Herald of Arclight is going to negate the Ash. And what's going to happen here is the entire hand's going to be shuffled back in the deck and they will only draw 2. They're about to lose 17 cards, right? Return 17 and then keep 2. But then the called by, as I said, that's it, right? Damn. Almost had it. Almost had a crazy Heavy Slump play. Called by is limited to 1. Only 1. Shoot. Okay, well, good attempt. Now, that's it, right? Let's speed this up. I'm gonna sit down. Would have been fire. Oh boy. He should have set Barrier instead of the Slump. He does play D-Barrier. That was an option. We tried the Maxi and Heavy Slump. It almost worked. It was very close to working. We're going to Fool Loss in response to the Marshmallow hitting the field. Ash will negate. Now, the Utopic Future ensures that Nicky Boy can't target any cards on the field, except the Utopic Future, but the Utopic Future can't be targeted. What? He's target locked. Could not target cards except this, but then Elf says you can't target this, so you just can't target. And in addition to that, you also can't target by battle. Now, beyond this weird floodgate, we have the Arc Light, which will negate anything. We could return 2 cards back to their hand. We could pop a card on the field, pop a card in the field. That's through the cookie, and the field spell we could flip 2 cards in the field face down. About 5 forms of disruption. Please ban Elf. Bualos is activating in the draw phase. Lollipo is going to chain Reborn 2 bodies from Engrave, which will be our Snatchy, which could play the Crow from the deck. Cupsy could randomly draw into another hand trap, possibly. What do we want to draw into? If we draw into Maxi, it's not even activatable due to the Herald. We also can't activate Droll. Not a hand trap. We have the Crow ready. Still have our 5 forms of disruption. In response to the cookie, we're going to summon our Cookie Synchro to flip it down. We didn't even use our field spell to pop it, and there we go. Let's speed this up since we have no hand trap whatsoever. So now the Elf can't be destroyed by card effect, and the Elf can only reborn them back to Masquerena once Slayton has a body on the field, which, I mean, if we want to play a game of Yu-Gi-Oh!, you're going to have a card in the field. So what I would be hoping for Slayton is that we don't want Herald to negate Harpy Feather Duster. We want it to negate Thrust. But it can't negate Thrust if we can't get Nicky Boy to activate a monster effect. This is where, I don't know if this would work, but you enter main phase 1, and then you tell Nicky Boy you're exiting the main phase, and then Nicky Boy goes, oh, I'm going to activate Elf Reborn my Masquerena. Then you retain main phase 1, you activate Thrust, they negate Thrust, and then you activate the other Thrust, and you win the duel. Let's see if that happens. Harpy Feather Duster, he's not chaining Herald, so this worked out even better. This is great. We still have Herald negating Thrust as a potential play. Now, Nicky Boy could very well wait for Herald on whatever Thrust adds, and then we could use Call by the Grave to finger the Herald instead. But then the Bell can negate the Called By. So there's a lot of things working against Slayton here. He did lose out on Droplet and Surprise being his forms of disruption. The Snatchy is not playing a Crow because Mitsurugi does not play a Crow. That's not their extra form of disruption. Now we thrust in. That's not what we wanted to happen. And we can't even finger the Ash because Ash is banished due to the effect of Herald of the Arc Light. The Thrust, the other copy's not activatable. We negated the effect, not the activation. Oh boy. Not good. Very no bueno. A Crow is here to do nothing. Flip down Lollipo. A Crow doesn't even trigger. Thrust is dead in hand. Called By is set. Now we're summoning a Masquerena. We could Little Knights if we want within the end of main phase 1. And that's what we will do. Reveal the Called By. Oh, that's what you're trying to do? You wanted to finger my Herald now, did you? Okay. Oh boy. It was a good attempt. Valiant effort from Slayton. Playing Mimigol, yummy. Some cool plays with Thrust. I guess one of the coolest things about the deck is the interactions with Thrust. You get to play 3 Thrust. If they're going to be toxic to you, you could set your heavy slump to then slump them. Hopefully, if they don't have an Ash and a Called By, you could set a D barrier even. And, you know, the Thrust is being activatable because you give them a body and then you can make them activate. Well done, mate. Finish him. All right. Rip. Mimi, yummy, mummy goal is knocked out. Let's keep on going. Well, you hit me with the C, so we make our minimal play, which this is like the only deck that could give a single draw under Maxi and still end up on 3+ disruptions. It's disgusting. So we have all three of these back rows to disrupt, plus our Droll and Lockbird. Let's see what happens. Gold Leo is going to add Martin here. This is where you normally would discard the Silverhound to summon from the deck. Gold Leo is going to add back the Martin as the Martin triggers to search the deck. This is correct to Droll, because Droll is stopping the Martin from adding a Lunalight spell from your deck to your hand. This actually works out well. Now, if you were to Droll on the Silverhound summoning from the deck, that's where it would be a mistake. And we're going to Sting, banish the Martin so it does not get added back. Be gone. The Lulu returned back, not drawing into our Femina. Come on, you're not a real Draco Tail player unless you're top decking her. Let's Palmerize it up into Perfume, but we're under Droll, so we can't add the Perfume. What the heck are we gonna do? Silverhound will summon a chick, but we already triggered Gold Leo. So Gold Leo can't even add back whatever we send from the deck. So we're going to go right into the Leo Dancer, and because we have enough bodies, it's time to Palmerize. You better negate this or you lose. You have to. Negate. Well, Silverhound will negate the negate, mate. Boy. Boy, oh boy. What's the requirement to summon this? Leo Dancer plus 3 Lunalights. That's a Leo Dancer, and that's 3 Lunalights. You would need the fusion to be in attack position, and then you could Horn, return it back in the extra deck, and then they would whiff the fusion. We Drolled him, and he's still summoning a Liger because he had lots of plays in his hand. Oh boy. Rip. Negate the Flame. Is it accurate to say that Moonveil tricked him? How did Moonveil trick him? Well, Moonveil got him to use Sting. Otherwise, we could have stung the Silverhound early to ensure that the Flame would not negate the Palmerization. Instead, the Sting tried to banish the Martin that he was trying to add back to the hand. I can't say that I agree with the Sting. I agree with the Droll, but not the Sting. Moonveil, right? You tricked him. Add back the Palmerization. And that's it. There's no out to this. Double 38, not enough for lethal damage, mate. And I don't know what do we do? What do we do? Let's speed this up. You could try to delay the duel until they deck out, right? Not anymore. We pulled the card out of our deck. So, 30 turns. If we have any ways to put them back on the deck but not draw, that would be what we want to do. And you have to do it through them being able to Raigeki, double attack. If they get a wolf on the field, they could inflict piercing battle damage. So as long as you have cards to stop them from summoning wolf while continually summoning into defense, I guess that would be your play. All right. Mugiwara's not giving up. We're actually putting our brain power into thinking that we have a chance. Sure. Commendable. And Moonveil could run out of fusions to dump, which means we run out of Raigekis. We could Raigeki 4 more times. 4 more board wipes. Draco Tail's returning Little Knight back in the extra deck so that he does not swing over it for lethal. Makes sense. Sure. Are you done? Okay. Get it off the field. Pan triggers. Reborn back. If you can't summon a wolf on the field, you don't have piercing battle damage. Or you could summon something bigger than 700 attack. Or you could just have that and we attack twice for game. I'll just attack twice. I don't really need to do anything else. No, we're good. All right. Good attempt from Mugiwara. Thank you. Let's keep on going. Well done. The problem with a card like Book of Eclipse is Draco Tail don't really summon good monsters on the field. They normally have an Arthalion and maybe a Gulamel, maybe a Malulu alongside it. All their power is generally going to be the Femina they can consistently have in their hand, plus their multiple back row traps. And then the traps are going to be continually drawing into more hand traps. They're good disruption, back row, and in hand. Now, even under the Fua, we're going to be triggering all of our cards, giving them a single draw. And just like that, I suspect Mugiwara is going to be holding on to the Sting for a better banish. Negate a spell, banish from the grave, return an attack position monster back. This could be well used on their normal summon or on a cross sheet potentially. And then we have Gulamel, pop a card in the field, if amenable fuse with the monster we draw into. 5 disruption. Tenki, searching for the gold Leo. Leo on summon, searching for our Silver Hound. Discard the Silver Hound, so we're going to immediately trigger the Hound to summon the chick. Get that Hound out of here. Big mistake that I banished the Martin in game 1. Now I know better. Goodbye. Well, we're going to Chain Book of Eclipse so that the Gulamel can't pop. We're Chain Link blocking the Gulamel here. Sure. Let's draw a card. We drew into a monster that the Famina could fuse with, or we just use Nibiru. Flame, negate the Poly. The Silverhound would have not been able to negate this anyway. There needs to be a fusion in the graveyard with the Silverhound to negate. We need another monster so that we could have use of the Nibiru and the other monster, but instead, we are going to be responding to the activation of the Wolf in the hand. Another Gulamel. Most people don't play more than one Gulamel, Mugiwara. What is going on here? Now, our Thalion can't deal background. If it could, it's just returning it back to the hand. Now, if we can't Chain Link block this, the Gulamel is not taking out the Wolf. We're taking out the chick instead. Wolf can fuse with the Grave. Now, why take out the chick? The chick states that if this card is used for a fusion, it has to be sent to the graveyard by card effect. You could add polymerization from the grave to the hand, so we didn't want that to happen. Now, Wolf states that you banish the materials, so it wouldn't have even triggered since the chick would be banished. But then the chick would get the other effect. Do we care about that? If banished this turn, the opponent's cards and effects cannot be activated during the battle phase only. Are we really afraid of that? And you triggered chick anyway. It's not even if sent to the grave by fusion, it's sent to the grave by card effect. So we do grab back that polymerization, which I'm sure now that's not why we try to get rid of it. This uses the field or grave, and it still gets banished. This honestly did nothing. I don't know what it actually helped them. They were not going to get polymerization. This literally just gave them a free polymerization. Why did we activate it? Did we want to pop the Wolf, but we couldn't for some reason? I'm a little confused. Okay. We're summoning a defensive player on the horn because this has 2 effects. It could return the card back. Then we could summon from the hand if we want to, optionally. Let's further polymerize into another Perfume Dancer. Perfume is going to be reborning the Wolf, as the Perfume Engrave will now be searching by discarding Nibiru. Grabbing a Martin, we already used up our normal summon. The Martin is going to return the Wolf back to the hand, special summoning, as we now make a Little Knight. If you try to horn the Little Knight, you're not going to draw a card because it's going to jump off the field. All right, we try it anyway, because why not? It's going to get banished. Let's banish ourselves plus the Arthalion. No draw for you. But what could Moonveil do? We could Wolf. And then end our turn. We only have 2 Lunalight fusions engraved to fuse with. There's no fusion play. Rahu Dracotail. Let's banish the Gulamel. Now it's worth noting, where's Arthalion? It's supposed to come back. It was banished, not by Little Knight, even though the dual log may make it seem like that, right? You target the Arthalion, Arthalion got banished, but it should, I don't know, in a better way, show this in the dual log. It was banished by its own effect and not by Little Knight. He's lost. Goodbye, Gulamel. Send from the deck, in the hand, Lucius and Urgula to make another Arthalion. You understand why it's still banished, right? Its own effect. If it's reborn from the graveyard and it leaves the field in any way, it gets banished through its own effect, not the Little Knight. It's like Fluanderees. When you banish the Fluanderees, they banish through their own effects. Reborn, say goodbye to the Wolf through the power of Urgula, wiping that fool out. I mean, Moonveil is expended. That's it. We're out. Out of juice. Finish him. We luckily had a good enough field to stop him from being able to build into a Liger. Well done. 1-1. 1 Ash. Little Knight is going to banish away the Ash, and we actually are done. Just 1. I mean, we know 1 is good enough, so that's all we got. We drew into another brick. We have 2 plays. Only 2 plays. Negate. Is this the activation negate? It is an activation negate. Another key 2 would be activatable within this duel. But how are we outing this? There's no freaking way. Little Knight banish away the Lucius, searching for a Femina. Pan could destroy a monster, but it's unaffected. Urgula could destroy a back row. And we could set 2 follow-ups. We could set a Rahu and a Kitu. Both will be activatable, even though the Kitu is negated this turn. So, you know, we pretty much have whatever we want to do, you could do it. But it's not going to lead to winning. Set Rahu. Add back the Femina. Pan add back. Chick's gonna reborn. Rahu, send Malulu, which could non-target negate a monster on the field. Whenever Moonveil wants, he's gonna Raigeki the field. Only special summon monsters, that is. Well, let's take out the Tenki. Don't mind if I do. Which the Liger Dancer's unaffected from the attack boost of the Tenki. We tried to negate the Liger just for fun. And in the end phase, because why not? Now, the Saber Dancer cannot be activated the turn it is sent there, thus sending it during the opponent's turn ensures that we could boost up our Liger Dancer. And boost it up we will. 68 double attack mate. Grab a Silver Hound, send Silver Hound. Silver Hound with a Fusion Engrave can negate any of these back row cards. We're going to use Little Knight to banish away the Malulu. Malulu does not work like Albaz, where it has to be part of the fusion. The other monsters will gladly be fused instead. Arthalion. Arthalion returning back the Lucius. Pan and Arthalion triggering. Let's set into the back row, take out the opposing Gold Leo before it activates. Or we took out something else instead. Nothing really matters what we're doing. Palmerize, Sting, banish the Silver Hound. Silver Hound negate you trying to do so, and we just flame. So if this duel mattered, you obviously don't try to Silver Hound negate Sting because you're getting baited. The flame doesn't have to be the direct chain link. You just let it resolve, because then the polymerization resolves. If this duel was one that mattered, again, to repeat myself, this was a really smart play. Good job on that. You tricked him, but you tricked someone who already has their game-winning card in the field. Secretarion. Now I'm gonna wipe the field. Thank you. Pan triggers. No, it does not. You get negated, mate. Negate. Double 68 to the face. Just like that. Oh boy. I mean, Dracotail players could choose to just look the other way and not care about Lunalight. So it's up to all of you to play Lunalight yourself. Now, what about Yummy? Yummy is also not being built to beat Lunalight. So this should naturally increase the amount of Lunalight players. Why was Lunalight not prevalent before? Well, Malice and Ryzeal can easily deal with not just one Liger, but even with 2 on the field without any additional goddesses or kaijus or weird nonsense, easily could out it. Even Pure Mitsurugi was main deck in the Wuso to deal with the single Liger, then the hand traps would deal with the second one from even being summoned. Grand Diffusion, Max C as suspected. We do Ash. We do want to make further plays. We do not want to hold it. Let's Frixel, Albaz, Sanctifier. Trigger the Frixel, set up the Kitu for our normal summon play. Lucius will be searching our deck for our Femina. Femina is going to fuse, revealing that we play Magnum Hunt. We can return it back with the Arthalion. Arthalion is targeting Femina to return back Lucius, setting up our Rahu. Rahu's going to send Urgula plus Femina to further add it back to our hand. Let's trigger both. And we have all 3 traps. We have a lot of disruption. What are the amount of disruptions we have here? Well, let's count this up. We could Reborn Albaz, which could fuse their field into a double disruption. Gulamel pop a card in the field. Horn return a monster back. Sting a card in their grave. Flame negate a spell. Femina fusion summon. 7 disruption plus max C. Yusuf, good luck. Bell, instead of being used against Sanctifier, could be used against any of the traps here. Let's go. Cubsy search for the Yummy Surprise. Maxi on Resolution. We do now have Called By, which we could flame, but then we could Bell the Flame. What's going to happen here? Do we Bell it? Yes, we do. Negate. Albion Sanctifier dodges the Called By. What are you targeting? I don't see it in the graveyard. Yoink. Now remember, Sprite Elf can also do this if you activate Maxi within main phase 1. We are still going to be able to use Albaz to fuse. We're going to have to discard, unfortunately, the Femina. Negate the Flame. And we'll discard Femina to fuse, right? Yes. Let's do it. Goodbye to the Cupsy as we go into a Rinbrum. Rinbrum can negate Snatchy and then bounce it back to the extra deck. So you have to summon Snatchy and not activate. Surprise, yum. Now, the Max C is blocking Yusuf from special summoning Marshmallow. It's not possible. You have to control no monsters or only Light Beast. This is annoying. Sting banishing Cupsy ensures that the Surprise has to summon from the hand instead. Which it could be a good time to summon the Marshmallow to then add back the Yummy Surprise. It's exactly what we're doing. Add back Surprise. Now we have to have a Link 1 or a level 2 Synchro. This is not allowed to activate. And we have a Horn. That's a GG. What? We didn't Horn it. Okay, so made sure not activate, didn't Horn it, was able to special summon. We're under Max C, so maybe that's why we didn't want to Horn. What's he really going to do, right? What can he do? He could Rinbrum, negate a Cupsy. How do you chain link block the Rinbrum from negating your Cupsy? What you're going to have to do is be allowed to activate Snatchy to play a Crow. A Crow will be on the higher chain link to block the Rinbrum as you also pop a card in the field, and then you get to successfully resolve your Cupsy or Lollipo. Let's hop into game 2. Let's go. Normal Lollipo. Into Snatchy we go. Snatchy play the minion. Reborn back. We're not going to Bell it. We're holding on to another effect instead. What would you do if you had a Cupsy in response to a Droll? You probably will jump off the field to Reborn from the grave. So with this specific combo, Droll disallows them from further adding, and the Bell negates the Cupsy. Uh-oh. Add Cupsy and Marshmallow. Droll, and then Bell the Cupsy. Yup, got him. Played right into our trap. Exactly what we wanted him to do. Now, we have to use Surprise to Reborn back the Marshmallow, which we shouldn't even have the Surprise in our hand. That's lucky to have this one of. That should have been searched for by the Yummy Cupsy. The question still remains. Are we making a Herald of Arclight? No, we're not. Now, does this mean that there isn't a Herald of Arclight on the field, right? That's such a weird question. Well, it could be summoned during the opponent's turn. We still have access to Heralds, but it's going to be later. They are going to be able to have player priority to activate cards before you get to that Herald. Now, as soon as you make a play to allow us to chain the Synchro, we will then retain the priority to continually go quick effect, quick effect, quick effect until we make the Herald. So Kraken has one shot, one play with before Herald hits the field to do something. And if that one play is normal summon Lucius, I would think you may as well just surrender. That'd be a big mistake. It has to be a powerful effect as our first play. Otherwise, our fusions are no good as everything will get banished. Does not normal Lucius. Good. Kraken understands that Herald is going to be on the field soon. Reborn Snatchy. Reborn Lollipo. Lollipo can banish the Urgula before it adds back a spellcaster. We're going to non-target destroy back row and non-target destroy a monster. How do we protect from a non-target monster destroy? Well, if he tries to destroy Elf, it can't be destroyed. Otherwise, we're in trouble. Elf, Reborn Masquerina. Will he ensure that the Pan destroys something that would stop him from going into a synchro play? Lollipo, Banish, Urgula. These two effects are huge. We don't know where the surprise is. We have to destroy surprise. Whoops, wrong card. Okay, Pan. Pan can't destroy Elf. I think Yusuf wants him to try to destroy Elf or the Masquerina, because we really want, I mean, it doesn't really even matter. The surprise will be able to further reborn whatever you destroy, and we will still get to our Herald of Arclight. Set. Takes out the Masquerina. A Crow, trigger, if taking out any monster, some for the deck. A Cookie. Snatchy is going to start building towards the Herald, I believe. Cookie's gonna flip down 2 bodies on field. We need them to activate another card. We can also trigger the Crow to pop a card in the field if we want to. We are not popping since he has double key to in the back row. Now we're gonna chain Reborn back onto the field. The Cookie has not yet been activated to destroy a monster on the field if we want to. Double the Snatchy. One of them is untargetable, but the Malulu will negate. So this is why it's so perfect that Yusuf summoned 2 of these. Now Yusuf could just wait. Okay, negate one of them, and then afterward, I will try to perform our synchro plays. Arthalion targeting just the Ghost Spell. Malulu is non-target negating. Lucius further setting. Yusuf holding his ground, not chaining Snatchies, waiting for the Malulu to negate something. Once Malulu negates, there we go, negates the untargetable one. Now we would, I thought on the resolution, we would have tried to make plays with Snatchy, synchro the other Snatchy and the Yummy into Lollipo, summon 2, then maybe turn those bodies into something, maybe go into Herald of Arclight, play from there. We still have the Crow to pop a card. We still have the Cookie Engrave to pop a monster. We already used Cookie to flip monsters face down. Albion, Sanctifier. Not Sanctifier, the regular Albion. Now, what is this doing by effect? By effect, it's banishing from the grave. Bell stops that unless you chainlink block it. Well, we're obviously blocking it with the Frixel. Now we're gonna chain Synchro. We're likely gonna deal with a Mirror Jade non-target banish, so the Sprite Elf protection here is not going to be as valuable. We're not. We are going for a double target play. Elf can't be destroyed, Lollipo can't be targeted, Snatchy can't be targeted. Did we use the wrong Snatchy? This Snatchy's negated. Is that an oops? We left up the negated Snatchy. A Crow is triggering to pop the back row flame. Surprise is reborning in response to the Star Source to reborn the non-negated Snatchy. Reborn. Now, you could ask, why didn't the Lollipo jump off the field? It chainlink blocked itself to ensure it could reborn 2 bodies. So all 3 of these are negated, and we still have the Snatchy ready. Are we building our play? Cupsy, draw 2, search for 2, discard. This is where if you don't have Cookie, you search it, then discard the Cookie. We already have Cookie Engrave. To battle we go. Okay. We're getting cleaned up. I guess we just ensure that we survive. Okay. What did Yusuf have in his extra deck to even play? He had Metal Marcher. Marcher would summon a negated Synchro. Herald of Arclight, which would just be destroyed by battle. This is not looking good. This is a situation. In the draw phase, bounce the Elf before it could activate. We cannot allow that. Bell must negate. No draw, no bounce. Now he could Elf. He could Bell, or he could just sting the targeting card. He is targeting with the Elf, so we know exactly what to banish. Rip. They couldn't make Elf a little more broken. How about non-target Reborn? Promethean Princess doesn't target when she reborns. Snatchy is back. Snatchy cannot be targeted. We're going to play the Minion. Minion can be targeted, though. Maxi in response to the Femina, as he is going to... Does he have another Gulamel? Another Gulamel to take it out. Urgula is going to take it out. Non-target, wipe out the field spell. Arthalion can target the Elf if we wanted to. Say goodbye to the Minion. And we do have Cookie to just special summon or normal. I don't know why we wouldn't special, though. Perfectly fine to do so. We're going to return the Acrow. More importantly, recycle monsters back into our extra deck. Cookie reduce the Arthalion into a Cupsy Search. Come to me. The Cupsy Synchro will grab the regular Cupsy, as we also have our Lollipo. Lollipo is going to be returning the Urgula back into the deck. Cupsy searching for the Acrow itself. Now, I'm curious. Marshmallow Recycle, Yummy Surprise, is that even a potential play? We have a Marshmallow in the graveyard. There is a Marshmallow still in the deck. Where is the Yummy Surprise? Surprise is it in the deck? It's banished. Now, for Surprise to be banished, is it recyclable in any way? So by using Sting to banish an opposing player's Surprise, how smart is that? Well, if you banish a field spell versus the Surprise, let's read the Marshmallow real quick, because this is very important. On summon, you could add a Yummy spell only from the graveyard, so we don't care about that. If summoned by a Synchro, you could place a Yummy field spell or continuous from the deck or banishment face up to your field instead. So with the Surprise being banished, it is gone for good, no way to recycle it, but if you banish the field spell, they can recycle it. Do keep that in mind. Linkaria, though, is going to be used as a tuner. Banned in TCG still, right? So TCG players don't know about this play. We're chain link blocking Lollipo from if there was a direct negate. Take out the key 2, reborn 2 bodies from engrave. These 2 bodies will be negated, but the Snatchy is considered to be a tuner. Little Knight, banish away a card on the field. Say goodbye to the key 2, the Rahu that is. How many key 2s and Ratus do we have used up? We now have Typhon on the field. 3,000 attack or higher will not be activatable, and Yusuf times out or surrenders. Which is it? Time limit. Damn. I don't think we were really working towards anything meaningful. Dracotail pretty much had this in the bag. Dracotail just overwhelmed with resources. That's it. Holy crap. Dracotail is very good. What the hell? I can't believe Yummy is not able to auto-win with Herald. And guess what happened? Everyone took out Red Reboot at this point, right? Red Reboot's gone. Retaliating Sea is gone. If we look at the official in-game analytics, those were cards being used to hard counter. Out of nowhere, 25% usage across the board of the highest ranked players in Master Duel. And then also Retaliating Sea, 19%. And now they're nowhere to be seen. There were still some Red Rebooters in last week. If Dracotail is dominating Yummy, despite them having Herald of Arclight, do we put back in the Red Reboots or what? This will mostly do nothing against Yummy. I guess against Mitsu, a lot of them are on Purification, and Pure Yummy, they are playing Purge alongside Imperm, so there still very likely is a chance to Red Reboot them. We are going to Loss right away to play around an opposing Femina. Now, Loss on your own turn is going to be more common. When Vanquished Soul comes out with the Azuna nonsense, because they're going to be summoning a Raisin from the deck potentially, they're going to be summoning a monster from the extra deck even during your own freaking turn. You may even want to main deck Pirellia. Main deck Pirellia, how good is that? Sucks against Dracotail, works quite well against Yummy, works well against Vanquished Soul. That, you know, 2 out of 3 decks it could be good against. Even on your own turn, just drop Parelia so they don't swarm from their hand a bunch of cards. Oh, it's just going to be 2 cards, that is. Let's continue to speed this up. All right. Urgula, add back the Femina. And just like that, let's see what we can do. Can negate a spell, return a monster, pop a card, Femina Fuse, and Ash. Negate the Branded Fusion, mate. Set 2, attempt to end our turn. Well, we're going to Gulamel, pop 1, and then we're going to fuse up into a Secretarion. Now I will allow you to end the turn. Horn can only return back in attack position, and it has to, or we can't do anything besides draw. Femina can't fuse into anything. You have to draw. Femina Fuse, perfect. So as soon as they wanted to do that, I see what you're trying to do. You really need to draw a card. No draw for you, and now you surrender. Come forth, Arthalion. Hold on. Let's just go through the motions. Win it. Is there any way Mobile X can win this? What is that? The advantage? We've got like 10 cards versus 2. We just win this turn. Holy moly. No draw in sight. Droll sucks in the mirror. Droll's not very good against Pure Yummy, it's not so good. Mitsurugi, you could say it's good. It's not good against Draco Tail. Is now the time to be playing Droll? If I'm Yummy, I would play Droll to Droll myself. Straight up, yup, that's a good idea. But using Droll, not defensively, but offensively, it doesn't seem so good, only against Mitsurugi. Branded Fuse, negate that fool. Right away, we could follow up with the Lucius. What is our grand play? With any other monster in the hand, we got to play with Femina. But they got a max freaking C. Ash, negate thee. You negate my Branded Fusion, I negate your max C. Fair duel, fair plays. Arthalion, add back our Femina. Lucius will be the only card to trigger here. Now with the Rahu Draco Tail, send Urgula to add back Femina again. And that is our turn. 2 traps, Ash, Femina, Gulamel. So return a monster back, negate a spell, pop a card, fuse with Femina, and Ash. 5 disruption. Pretty good. Baron's and Me Too Yummy. I don't think everyone's on it. Add Femina. Let's fuse it up. Femina versus Femina. What is the best thing to summon here? Obviously, it's going to be the Secretarion, right? You're going to stop whatever they summon into from even being activatable. Gulamel. Oh, that's it. Your Femina is illegal. You can't even summon. No summon for you. And Big C1 and Tisha G could be like, oh, you have Secretarion? Okay, I don't want to fuse. No, you have to. Oh, I don't have a legal fusion. Oh, well, can I see your hand? Nope. That's it. No verification. Back in my day, you had to verify. They took that away. You have to trust your opponent now. Secretarion Reborn, the Lucius. This is super over. Flames are on. Flame can't even draw into a Femina. What could Flame even draw into? I don't know. Max C, and then they got to summon a bunch of times. Not needed. Not even activatable. Well done. 1-1. It was even like it was an upside that if you called the card incorrectly, you still get the valuable information of what's in their hand. I declare Obelisk. Okay, show me your hand now. Now, they don't have to freaking reveal. What the hell? E2. E2. Ooh, loss on resolution. And it's, you know, as I said, not good against Draco Tail. They draw 1, and you still have tons of disruption. Droll, also bad. So remember all those hand traps I said that were bad against the deck? We had a bunch of them in our hand. Ash is the best against it. stop Rahu, stop the traps. It's incredibly versatile. Let's go. Triple backward disruption. We have Droll, we have Pan Pop, we have Fuse. Ash, negate the Flame Mate. We only play Bell because we're coping on pretending that we have additional Ashes. Urgula, wipe out the back row. Come forth, Arthalion. Let's add back her Ash because it's that good. You want to win the mirror, you're going to hard open up Ash and continually return it back. We are going to be banishing away the Urgula to ensure it does not return back the Femina. Also, because one of our backer cards are about to get destroyed, return back our own monster, randomly draw. Not in, I mean, see, Big C1's like, where's my Ash? I keep on drawing so I could draw Ash. Set up the Flame and the Key 2, and let's now add back the Ash. Key 2 on Resolution. Drew into Albaz, drew into Full Loss. Bro, draw better. Had we drawn into an Ash, we maybe would have a chance at what's going on here. Frixel, Reborn Femina, add back. This was a decision. We put such a high priority on denying Femina that we banished Urgula instead of Ash that he was adding back to the hand with Arthalion, and he still added back the Femina. So we accomplished nothing and they still have Ash because of it. Gulamel, trigger the Arthalion and the Frixel. Gulamel, and we do have Femina activatable to do something. Our final play. This is the way. We don't have to summon a Draco Tail. It's a dragon or spellcaster. This is it. The final boss. Either main phase, target a card on either field or graveyard. It's only the opponent's controls, that is, or in their graveyard, not your own. Banish it. Then if you banish a card from the field, you have to return her back to the hand, unfortunately, or another dragon. Let's go. Targeting banishment, but Secretarion says you can't activate. All right. Great. Secretarion says whatever Femina summons, no matter what it is, it cannot activate. Well, now that Secretarion's gone, we can activate, only within the main phase. Let's banish away the Flame, return back the Phileas. Not enough for lethal. If Albaz discards Fool Loss to Fuse, Horn just bounces it back right away. We're going to ensure that the Gulamel can directly change the Sting to take out the Key 2 before they activate it, and it would be so disgusting if they hard drew one anyway. Return the Flame back, add the Pan. Lucius, Ash, negate, because they're not going to hard draw a Key 2 that we just popped. Probably the weakest card we could use Ash against, right? And he reveals the Key 2 anyway, that we went out of our way to pop early. Urgula and Lucius using the Urgula to not only take out the back row, but recycle the engraved Femina. So good. And that is what the Sting would have been better stinging if we could have stinged the Femina instead. Why didn't Big C1 sting the Femina over the Urgula? Maybe he just wanted to try to get it out of circulation, but a lot of people play more than one. And I guess he didn't want the additional benefit of Urgula, either adding back the Lucius instead or a Frixel. Frixel, Reborn Femina, add back, fuse it up. Big C1 is making a huge comeback. Holy moly. Recycle back our engraved Femina and Urgula. Frixel is going to be further triggering. Setting for the deck a second copy of our Rahu. Add back Femina and Urgula. We have not Rahu'd yet. Hieratic Seal. We are in main phase 1. Rahu, send 2 bodies to the graveyard for a Gulamel. And now, we are able to trigger it up like crazy. Gulamel is going to be taking out the Arthalion. Not enough for lethal, though. What the heck's going on? Come forth, Arthalion. 58 mate. Return back the Frixel. Oh boy. Okay, so what we have here is the Hieratic Seal to return a face-up card back. And then summon a Malulu from the deck, which will perform a fusion alongside the Femina, which could also negate. So let's talk about that being a total of about probably 2 disruptions. Flame negate a spell, Gulamel pop a card, about 4 disrupts. Lucius competes with a normal summon of Malulu. All we have is Malulu. Do we still have a Secretarion? We don't. No Secretarion in sight. It's in the graveyard. Gulamel pop away the Malulu so it does not have the effect of negating something on the field. Then we have non-target destroy with Pan. Mysterion is here. Come forth into Dracotail Arthalion. Arthalion is going to recycle back the Ash. That's what we continually do. And now we know that the flame is about to get negated. A dragon summoned a dragon. You are a dragon, so we will banish you. But if I banish you, I'm also going to banish my own dragon. My Hieratic Seal is going to be gone. So we're going to Heavenly Sphere, return back what? Our own Mysterion. Okay, we successfully banished the Arthalion. Now, Hieratic Seal will trigger to summon from the deck of Malulu. The problem is the Ash. The Ash is the entire issue here. The Ash that we could have banished, like 3 turns ago, is again being added back to the hand to negate the flame that would negate the Rahu or Kitu. If we have nothing in hand, how good is Malulu? Not good enough to even bother summoning. Oh, crap. This same Ash has continually been activating. It's the same one from the very first turn. Negate, add back, negate, add back, negate. Just think about that if you're playing Dracotail. Recycle your Ash in the mirror over and over and over again. What is going on? Gulamel take up Magnum Hut. Mobile X was gonna win, and then Big C was gonna win, and then Mobile X is now gonna win. Will Big C now win? Well, Big C doesn't have Rahu. Now he's playing off the top of the deck. That's it. I don't see Urgula in graveyard to recycle anything back. He's got 1 Kitu left in the deck. 1 Rahu left in the deck. Malulu, add to the hand here. Let's get stinging right away. Banish from engrave, return back to draw into Ash. What? How do you always have Ash? Malulu, fuse with the Lucius into Arthalion. Return monsters from our own graveyard back. We need that big recycle. 1 card back, grab us our Magnum Hut. There's only 1 Rahu and 1 Kitu left in our deck. The final Kitu, which we don't have a card in our field, not a monster that is. So Ash on Rahu is the play. Add back the Magnum Hut. Femina is going to use Urgula and the Ash. So the Arthalion could add the Ash back for the 4th time if we wanted to. We are adding back the Frixel instead. Gulamel is going to reborn. Urgula is going to take out 1 of these back row cards. And then the Flame will negate the other. Checkmate. 3rd Kitu is gone. Gulamel is a water, so we can't even banish it with the Bestial. And the 3rd Rahu is now gone. All 3 Kitu's gone. All 3 Rahu's gone. Now you have to resolve a trap to recycle 1 of them. And how many traps do we have in the deck? 1 trap banished, a 2nd trap in the grave, the 3rd trap. We have no way to recycle our spells. All 3 traps are gone. We can't recycle the traps. We can't recycle the spells. Every Dracotail spell and trap has been used completely. We are out of gas. Magnum Hut. Block the attack. Horn. As we'll chain Gulamel to wipe away the Magnum Hut. 2200 life. And that's it, mate. Add back. Draw. Lethal damage. Great duel. Despite it being a Dracotail versus Dracotail, I think it was quite entertaining. Very good. I think Ash won this duel. All right, let's keep on going. Let's go. Starting off with a normal summon Cup C to search our deck. In response, we're not going to Ash. We're going to Max C. We're going to wait for the Cup C Yummy Way. They don't have a good way to chain link block the Cup C Yummy Way. Thus, we are very simply going to instead Ash the Saji because we added that into the fray. Negate the search for the Mitsurugi Ritual, which they would go right into the Murakumo, at least get that out onto the field. You get the Murakumo properly summoned in circulation, then you're ready to negate a card, force them to discard that is, and then reborn it back and wipe away their field. Nicky Boy knows. He knows that if they summon a single Liger Dancer, it's over. So Maxi doesn't matter. We need to have enough disruption. He's gonna, do I have enough to stop a Liger? No, then I keep going. Oh, but you're under Maxi. Who cares? You keep going. Mitsurugi Ritual, Impulse Negate. I did all that for nothing. You what, mate? Actual major spoilers. Too bad. Saji, Search, Negate, Ash. Not today, mate. All right, from here, we have full Yummy play with drones. Or do we? Impulse Negate the drones? We have a dead Surprise, a dead Habakiri. We got a Fool Loss and a Droplet, that's it. Droplet on Gold Leo is great. Really good. Is it good enough to stop him from summoning a Liger, though? The Fool Loss could maybe draw into more hand traps if they keep on playing through it. This is it. This is the moment. Flame on for Moon Veil. Searching for the Silver Hound. Black Sheep being discarded, searching for a Polymerization. This will get the Silver Hound in graveyard. Now we Fool Loss him. Just like that, drop or summon from the deck or extra deck. We're about to summon from the extra deck here and then trigger Hound to summon from the deck. Do we pass on that effect or do we go all the way? We know we just have to summon a single copy of Liger to win. Chainlink block the Silver Hound with the Perfume Dancer, which searches for a perfume that we already have in our hand. You negated me from searching the card we already have. Summon from the deck. Chick, further send from the deck or extra deck. Perfume will be reborning back onto the field our Gold Leo. Perfume's gonna return the Gold Leo back. As we then use the Perfume, discard the Leo to search our deck for the Wolf. This is it. Wolf is gonna fuse with the field or grave, banishing. Just to summon out our single copy of Liger Dancer. We have more than enough for lethal damage, Nicky Boy. Not even acknowledging you as a real deck surrenders, leaves the table. This was not even real. Wow. Draco Tail against Lunalight in the finals. Let's go. I am so disappointed in Yummy. Not the Yummy players, just Yummy. I can't believe this. Draco Tail is actually more prevalent since Yummy's release because you all took out Red Reboot. You all took out Retaliating Sea. And some of you probably also took out Ghost Spell. Who knows? Did overall Ghost Spell usage go down because of Yummy's release? Well, let's enjoy this mirror match, and then let's see if a single Liger Dancer wins. Negate the Branded Fusion, negate the Flame with the Ash as the Branded Fusion fully resolves. Chainlink block the Lubellion. Turn back, Star Source. We're gonna be popping 2 cards. Horn's gonna return back the Arthalion. Sting's gonna be getting rid of that Ash. Don't let them recycle the Ash. That's a game-winning play. Get it out of their grave. As we now fuse up with the hand in deck, Femina and Pan. Let's further trigger this up. We have our own Femina ready and waiting until the end of the main phase to make our play. Now, mind you, we can't link off into anything. No Heavenly Sphere here due to the Branded Fusion. They do have the attack, but Femina is going to be blocking if needed. Not needed, though. This is a resource battle. you can't expect to steal the duel. If you think you have an opening to steal the game early while they have a ton of cards in hand, it's fake, it's not real. You have to deplete them to nearly 0 resources to win. Set it up. We're in for a ride. Key 2 main phase 2. Thanks to you having a body on field, I could fuse on resolution. Philia Regis can now banish a card in the field. It's all about taking out their follow-up plays. Make a Star Source. Make a Little Knight. Make a Phileas. Make a Gulamel. Pop their Rahu. Pop their Key 2. They're setting it up right in front of your face. Now, let's Rahu, Draco Tail, Flame, negate. Chain our own flame to negate. It's a resource battle. I deny you from drawing a card. You now can't draw. Well, I'm gonna banish your Gulamel while you're doing that. Gulamel, be gone. Chainlink block the Gulamel also to ensure it wouldn't pop a card. We are going to be negating our own card. Thus, we now use the horn, return back. We're flaming our own cards, we're horning our own cards. We just keep on doing whatever we can to draw from our own deck. Let's Frixel, Reborn the Lucius. Sting says no. No plus for you. I'm gonna try to plus, I'm gonna deny your plus. I'm gonna try to plus, I'm going to deny your plus. Plus and deny, plus and deny. Anaconda is here, and we don't have a way to stop it. Impervious to Ash. We have an Ash waiting to be used. And just like that, Gulamel triggering, setting up our Sting. Why didn't we Lubellion? Well, we don't want to minus. We don't want to lose cards. We don't want to be discarding to fuse. No, thank you. Is it an actual minus? Well, if we use the Lubellion, we lose a body on the field for a body, right? Well, yeah. Well, it's kind of like a 1-for-1. Our Thalion is here. Recycle back the Max C. Why can't I recycle my Ash? Because I made sure to banish your Ash. Very important. Get their Ash out of circulation. Well, I have another Ash. Great. I Sting the first one, and now you have another. Negate the Sting mate. Now, let's set up the Key 2 and the Rahu Draco Tail. Further add back the Max C that we now have to deal with. Key 2, you don't have Ash. Oh boy. Hasn't even had access to Ash at all. What the heck's going on here? That's why you play Max C, to draw into your Ash. No Ash, no win. I think it is coming down to that, right? Doesn't it seemingly look like the player who has Ash, everything else considered, they still win? And continually the losing player just doesn't draw Ash? How's it that simple? Wipe them out, and now we're playing off the top of our deck. Even the turn 2 player won. Doesn't matter who goes first, it matters who has Ash. 2 dead fool. I mean, we have 3 dead cards. This is really bad. This Brain of Fusion is going to see no use for the rest of this entire duel. These full losses will at least be fusion fodder. We have Ash. We have Femina. We have their Femina at the end of the main phase here, bluffing the Brain of Fusion. That could eat up a Gulamel pop potentially, or an Urgula. You want them to think that this is a Horn, but it ain't. Horn is in our deck. And if Mobile X is afraid of Horn, he may take it out when he has a way to pop a back row. Now, the Sanctifier immediately negated. We do have our Gulamel to pop, Sting to banish in the grave. We can negate a spell, we could fuse, we could Ash. Let's go. Secretarion, Reborn. Sting is going to... Here's what's crazy about this Reborn. You're not even designating on activation which card you want to Reborn, and the other card doesn't have to be there to Reborn the other. You are now going to, whatever's not banished, Reborn the other. Something like Rinbrum. If any card is banished, Rinbrum does not Reborn the Albaz or itself if it were properly summoned. Secretarion versus Secretarion. This ensures that the reborn monster, which would be the Cartesia, is not activatable. Little Knight, I'm seeing be better and better. Little Knight is putting in work in the mirror match. I think initially a lot of people were not even putting Little Knight in their extra deck. Goodbye to the Flame. Rahu, here comes the Ash, and that dreaded moment where Mobile X goes, holy crap. Not only did he Ash my Rahu, but now, next turn, he's very likely gonna be adding that Ash back to the hand. And I'm gonna be getting Ashed every single turn. What do? The pressure's on. Urgula set up the Horn. Goodbye to the Branded Fusion. Let's Sting further. Maybe we Sting the Ash and it's all good. Not even an issue. Frixel, reborn the Fame units and then return it back to the hand. Turning Little Knight and Frixel into Anaconda. That is a great segue. First, you Little Knight banish. Unfortunately, just by summoning Anaconda, that triggered the Arthalion, which then allowed the Gulamel to directly chain to it, and we still don't have our own Secretarion as it got dealt with. I think people have to be playing more than one Secretarion to win the mirror, right? And speaking of that, Kraken's on two Secretarion. I'm curious on two things real quick. Let's look at this. I know you don't want to be pausing during a freaking mirror match of these mad lads, but we're towards the end of the tournament anyway. Tricotail, wow, 90% on Little Knight. That is, I thought early on they maybe weren't on it as much. Let me see Secretarion though. Secretarion, is this mostly a 2 of? 41, the majority are not on 2 yet. Maybe you want to win the mirror match? I think you got to bump these numbers up. Let's see. Horn, return, Secretarion. What is going to be our focus? The Sanctifier is permanently negated. We are going to be banishing away the Frixel, allowing the Gulamel to directly chain. We're going to Famina, chain to the Gulamel, attempting to take out the Arthalion on fields. Chain link freaking 5. I fuse, you fuse, I pop, you pop. What's good? Come forth our own Arthalion, using only with the field, Secretarion, ensuring that the newly summoned Arthalion could not even activate. Sting banish away, and Gulamel pop a nothing. Let's add the Pan through the effect of the normal summon Lucius. Urgula on the higher chain link to the Lucius is not good, because you're the non-turn player, so you can't pop the newly set card. It is safe. Safe from the Urgula destruction. Secretarion is going for a potential Albaz. Now we're dealing with a max freaking C. What do? Do we press for lethal damage? Albaz is here. Return back. We are activating. Discard Pan. Fuse it into Mirror Jade. We do have Magnum Hut to block an attack. Just 1. And 3 attacks this game. We have 4. Wait, did we attack? We didn't attack with someone yet, right? Secretarion hasn't attacked, right? We have game. Whoa. Wait, we already attacked with this. Good. It was 25. He's at 26. That almost was not game. By attacking with this first, it ensured that a random Bestial would not make us miss lethal by 100. I mean, the life points would have been different then. Okay. Well done. Maxi was not enough to stop us from claiming our victory. All right. Game 3. Mobile X going first. Begin. The majority of Pokemon Pocket players don't even duel. They don't battle. They're just opening packs. That is it. The Lulu fuse after the Ash negates the Rahu. Let's chain a Fool Loss. Let's Arthalion return. 2 cards from our graveyard back to our hand we go. Recycle back the Fool Loss. It is fusion fodder. Pan is going to be further setting from the deck our Flame. Not key to grabbing a Famina. Mobile X valuing Flame more than a Famina, sure. And now we have Lucius searching for our own Famina. Lulu on the resolution, wipe out that Lucius. Now, it's a weird situation. If the Pan is wiping away Lucius and we go, oh crap, I'm gonna chain Femina to ensure it doesn't get wiped out, your newly summoned fusion is gonna get wiped out instead. It's a non-targeting destruction. Puts you in an awkward spot. Thus, Femina is just gonna let it die. So Mobile X has to be thinking, right? He wouldn't chain Femina to this. Does he really have no other monster in the hand to fuse the Lucius? Just gonna get it, let it get popped. Now, we knew the flame was there, and this is too good to not negate, right? We are instead prioritizing our Kitu. Yeah, okay. I guess we really think that they would negate this, sure. So I was thinking, like, if you put out the card that you know they'll negate, but you don't think they'll negate the Kitu, but you do think they'll negate it, you don't want them to draw into a card that could then negate your other card instead. Urgula and Femina are here. Let's get to it. And you'd have to negate the Kitu because it can result in an Urgula being triggered in Grave. Urgula set. Wipe out one of their follow-ups. Femina resolving for our own Flame. Flame is a game winner. Flame and Ash are so good in the mirror. Urgula, add back our Lucius. Just keep on plussing. +1. Draco Tail sending the Malulu and Lucius for our Gulamel. They got more back road that are follow-ups. We got more pops. Gulamel, wipe it out. Urgula, Gulamel, Star Source, Little Knight, wipe it. Even Philia Regis if you're able to summon that. Triple the Triforce, that's it. The Sting, the Horn, the Flame. Even more than a Triforce, we got the Femina. Wow. This is a situation now, isn't it? Femina is not even activatable. We do have to draw into a Draco Tail. Droll is trash. Ash is great. And then Flame, Horn, and Sting, what they do is what they do. Now, Cartesia is a very good card. But Cartesia is competing with the normal summon of Lucius. If we don't have Albaz in the graveyard, Cartesia is not a special summon, and there's a lot of people not playing Albaz or Brain Infusion at all. They're just playing triple, 2 or 3 Cartesia. Cartesia it is. Cartesia fuse with the hand. Arthalion is here. Return 2 cards on the field or graveyard back. We're going to recycle back our Malulu and Pan. Gulamel's going to trigger Reborn. Further triggering our Arthalion. As we are now further setting up all our cards, we're going to Sting, Engrave, the Malulu. Not banishing the Arthalion that's reborning, allowing it to come out. Be my guest. The Femina can now fuse Albaz with one of our fusions if we want to. Sure. Come forth out, Arthalion. As we now... Gulamel, our own Gulamel, or I should say Mobile X's Gulamel, is ready to chain to any of our cards to get poppin'. Little Knight, banish away, get that flame out of here. Now the Trapping Banish is still recyclable back in the deck. Q2 is a worthy negate if you have a monster on your field. Negate. Now from here, ending our turn. We are afraid of that Horn. We were not willing to put anything into attack position. Key 2. What happened? What happened? He surrendered? He surrendered? Really? Oh my Jesus. Did all 3 duels, the only player with Ash was the one to win? I think so. I think when one has Ash and the other doesn't, they don't even want to play. They're done. They're out. It's not a fair duel. Okay. Can you back-to-back face off against the new top tier and then again against the new top tier? The top 2 new decks are here. We have a heavy polymerization, which is an instant game-winning card. If you go second, you instantly win. If you're going second against Yummy or Draco Tail and they have any monster on the field, you instantly win the duel. Oh my Jesus. All right, start this off. Malulu, fuse with itself and in hand. Pan, let's double trigger, Engrave. We have our Ash, which could stop their Rahu. Mind you, it's not that Ash beats Draco Tail, it's Draco Tail with Ash beats Draco Tail because of being able to continually recycle and win that resource battle. Still decent. Still good for negating Rahu, still good for negating traps. But it's one and done. You're not going to be adding it back forever. Now, for real though, for this to be good, if they only have one monster on the field, ideally they have at least two, you're going to need 3 Lunalights. We only have 1. So with only 1, this is not enough to instantly win the duel yet because the fusion requirement is going to be 4 monsters. It's going to be 1 Leo Dancer, which will burn us for 3,500 damage, and then we need 3 other bodies. Otherwise, if we have the 2 monsters on the field, then it would be only 2 Lunalights for this to instantly win. Flame onto the Lunalight fusion. This is a situation not looking good for Moonveil. Perfume could search for a Lunalight. That's at least something. Now, we didn't lose a Lunalight. This can reborn it, and then we could search for another one. And Kraken can't negate the search. That would have been the play to win, right? Just like that. Now that we have 2, we need 1 more. That's 1 more. We are now discarding it. And now we have 3. We're going to search our deck. We're going to be adding this back. And the heavy poly is our Liger. That's it. He's going right into, he's not waiting. There's no other plays worth doing. Lunalight, Liger Dancer, minus 3,500 life points. Double 38. Not enough for lethal. Masquerade sends Silverhound, Silverhound, summon for the deck. It's now lethal damage, and we didn't even make 5 summons. Faymina, we're gonna chain Max C to you. What can Kraken do? He's not allowed to surrender, by the way. At the sight of a Liger Dancer, you gotta take it all in. Pan's gonna non-target destroy the chick. We're gonna say goodbye to the Masquerade. So this does deal with lethal damage. Sure. Let's say you're a Sky Striker deck. You have Hayate, you could try to attack directly a bunch of times, maybe, hopefully. If they're gonna burn themselves down low to maybe give them enough life for you to just lethal through that, that could be another method. If you have burn damage, I guess if you're playing Triple D, you could use King Tail to burn for 1,000. If they overburn with the heavy poly, which they would normally send, they would banish 2 fusion monsters. They get real low. That's it. Unaffected by card effects except Lunalight cards. 38 and quick effect Raigeki. In addition to that, the Silverhound will negate any spell or trap card. No matter where it is, it has to be on the field, that is. But whether it is the effect of the card or the activation of the card, we will negate the activation. So the realistic win condition is the D size. Compare both of your Ds. Right now, Lunalights is smaller, and you try to deck them out. 24 turns of attack twice, and you could only set 1 monster per turn, but this can attack twice? It doesn't add up. You can't do that for 24 turns. Konami made sure of it. They, in fact, thought, what if someone just sets until they deck out? That's not fun dueling. Let's give it a quick effect, special summon Raigeki, and then attack into all the normal monsters. Let's Sting banish the Saber Dancer before it becomes 6,800, which doesn't really matter unless they have a wolf to give it piercing battle damage. We're going to use the Silverhound to negate mate. Not today. And now we are becoming 68. Gold Leo is so small, she can't swing into a defense position monster. Silverhound could summon from the deck a chick, still not big enough to swing into the defense. Horn is going to return the Leo back before it triggers to add back the Wolf. Because Wolf on field, but only as a monster, not a pendulum, gives us that piercing battle damage. Liger, wipe away the special summoned. 68 to the face, mate. I didn't need Wolf. Didn't need it. Damn. Heavy poly for the win. Begin. Max C at the start of the standby phase. Good luck. Now, what happened with Nicky Boy when he got Max Seed is he just saw red. He went all the freaking way. He was playing a yummy deck, to be fair, and Draco Tail doesn't have to go all the way. They could simply do a single special summon, set 3, it looks like we're setting, and then end. All right, let's go. We're drolling. Drolling the Max C. Kraken wants to Anaconda. I think so. Kraken wants to send Brain Infusion. Let's do it. For the set, he also wants to Rahu Draco Tail. Now show me the branded plays. Add back Urgala, Femina, and Malulu. No, he's not making Anaconda. We're now turning off the Anaconda play for Rahu. Set up the Sting. Further add back Femina, and there we go. Ooh, boy. How do we do it, Heavy Poly? We have to negate it straight up. Flame, negate the Heavy Poly. Any other card's gonna be baiting out the Flame, which we know is there. It's public knowledge. They can negate a monster, they could fuse, they could pop a monster, they can negate a spell, banish from the graveyard, and they could return a monster back. 6 disruptions, this is it. I think Kraken did not want to play into Nibiru, so you could say that was smart. Just play it safe. Let's go. Shotguns the Heavy Poly, knowing that he has Flame. I have Ash. What do you do about that? Oh my gosh. This is going into, like, Liger Dancer immediately. No other plays, just one card, Liger Dancer. We already lose? He's trying to deny Liger Dancer from being summoned. How do you do that? He is successfully doing it, actually. He's only going to have 1 monster on the field, and this requires 2 with 2 Lunalight. Wow, he got him. He actually got him. 1 monster, only 1 banish from the extra deck, and then you need 3 other Lunalights because they only have 1 monster. They somehow turned 3 monsters into 1. That just happened. That actually happened. No Liger. Huh. Insane. If the Nibiru were a Lunalight, there'd be Liger. This is not Liger. Okay, don't get confused. So what does this one do? Your opponent cannot target this with card effects. Also, it cannot be destroyed by card effects. And it can make 2 attacks during the battle phase. At the end of the damage step, if this attacked a monster, you could destroy all special summon monsters. And yeah, okay. That can't be good enough, right? Sting, banishing the Black Sheep. Black Sheep was not doing what you thought, right? Well, it was going to, okay, it was going to add back a Lunalight Engrave. So you banished the wrong card, mate. What? It was activating. If sent to the graveyard, you could add to your hand a face-up Pendulum or a Lunalight in your graveyard except Black Sheep. There was only 1 Lunalight to add back with the Black Sheep, and we didn't banish it. Oh my gosh. Chixen Martin, battle phase, double attack, full loss on the attack. Are we good? Like you don't lose. Like, let's calm down, right? Magnum Hut, banish the Marian. Sure. Magnum Hut search. Palmerize. Turn this into Perfume. Can we turn this into a Liger? Under Full Loss. Chick's gonna add back the Polymerization. We're gonna be searching for a Perfume. Reborn back the Gulamel. Now, he already Femina'd this turn, right? So it's not something that he could randomly draw into. He also already... Did he Ash yet? It's something he could draw into. Perfume, Reborn the Chick. Perfume, further searching our deck. The Wolf. Now, we could summon Liger. Return the Chick, summon. Send a Leo. This is when you could do it. Yeah, oh my gosh. Liger main phase 2. What? Don't forget to wipe the fields. Pan trigger off of a fusion being destroyed. Reborn a non-fusion. Add an Albaz from the deck. This is it, right? It's just one Liger hits the field, you win. There's nothing else we could do besides go for a deck out victory, hope that they time out, which makes no sense. They have to disconnect. That's the only real chance to win this duel. They even have more cards in their deck. They wouldn't even deck out. You would deck out. Oh boy. Yeah, you have to like drop his phone in the drain. And because this is an indie game, I don't think there's a way to reconnect to your same duel from PC. That's it. He has to DC or something physically has to happen to him to prevent him from further dueling. Little Knight, banish away. Lightning could strike his computer. Has that any reports on that lately happening? Rahu, goodbye to the Lunalight Wolf. This is it. End phase. Attempt to wipe away. Little Knight's going to dodge the wipe, and they will just come back during the end phase. We don't want to be running out of fusions to use the Raigeki with. How many more Raigekis we have? We have 3 more. 3 more board wipes. Battle phase. Sanctifier. Reborn another body to give us protection. Couldn't Sanctifier technically win the duel for us? If we keep summoning a monster in attack position and then keep attacking over it because they can't do something with it, don't we win? I think that is an actual win condition. Give them a full and attack and then just keep swinging into it. But how do we survive after one attack? Uh-oh. He's trying to link it off. Don't let him. Don't let him. Star Source pop 1. Keep the Ash on field. Oh no, we're exposed. He can't deal 52 on a single attack on Ash. He's negating his own spell just to draw. He's this desperate. Draw? Is there any way to make this Ash indestructible by battle? Frixel, reborn back the Lucius, return back. Lucius further searching for a Femina. Isn't it insane to see these top tier decks flailing in desperation against Lunalight? It's pathetic. I can't believe it. Moonveil 2-0'd Yummy in the top 4. And he's 2-0ing again? He's gonna, from top 4 to finals, 4-0 Yummy and Draco Tail? What the heck is this? Kraken adding everything back. Don't forget, I got a Raigeki. Oh boy. Arthalion reborn back. I will get that 3,000 damage over the Ash. Kraken may have made himself lose the duel. He denied Liger from being summoned by making there be only one monster. And had he just allowed him to go all the way with the fusion, what would have happened? Every monster we use for fusion material from the extra deck, you lose life points. And you made it so he could only banish 1. If he had to banish more than 1, and then you were to sanctify or summon the other monster, then attack into it with Arthalion, you would have won. What fusion could he send to deal less than 22? I guess the Perfume Dancer. He would be at 200 life. That is the situation. He'd be blinking red at 2. And there you go. That's how you win. You recycle back the Sanctifier, and when they Raigeki the field, you reborn Arthalion, or you reborn Gula. We could actually win. No way! You summon again, they Raigeki, you reborn Arthalion to block the attack, but then you have to have another Arthalion or another Gulamel to again attack over the monster you summon with Sanctifier. He's got to be running out of fusions to Raigeki. possibly. He's only got 2 more Raigekis. And then Sanctifier summoning a monster and attack is the legitimate out that Draco Tail has without changing their deck. Oh my Jesus. It's like I was talking with Hayate attacking directly. It's a different way. Bird, add back. Reborn, Palmerize. Instead of using it for a Raigeki, we're just going right into the Perfume. Masquerade, add back. We're gonna add a Perfume. Martin's searching for a spell here. I think Moonveil sees that his pathway to victory, he has to stop it. He's gotta go all in. He is filling the field with more bodies. By discarding that card, that Polymerization now uses the grave. The graveyard is being used. And by banishing the Leo Dancer, you now cannot legally resolve that Polymerization. This is illegal. Denied Poly successfully. The tables are turning, but he can now still use it as a Raigeki. Martin returned back the Masquerade. Normal the Emerald Bird. Discard search for Tenki. Tenki further searching for the sheep. Moonveil, are you good? You seem a bit panicked to me. We're making a Tiger King Fire Fist to negate the Sanctifier. That's it. Detach to negate the effects of all face-up effect monsters except Beast Warrior. Before getting negated, we're gonna summon a Droll and Lockbird onto their fields. Oh my Jesus. Perfume, Reborn the Wolf, giving Liger Dancer piercing battle damage. No way, Kraken almost had it. If Kraken could go back in time and play the duel out differently, understanding that Sanctifier is a real way to win it, what would he have done differently? He would have prioritized getting Sanctifier out as soon as possible by making the Anaconda turn 1, which is what we talked about, right? He didn't want to get Nibiru'd, but maybe you have to risk it. Oh my Jesus, 2-0 victory. Meta Weekly top decks are here. Boom. Draco Tail has become better. Good freaking job. Because of Yummy, you took out Red Reboot. Because of Yummy, you took out Retaliating Sea. I don't think you should be taking out Ghost Spell, but maybe people also took Ghost Spell out. Ghost Spell, great against Draco Tail, great against Mitsu. It can be great against the Sinkers trying to jump off and Reborn. So maybe you still have the freaking card in your deck. Now, this is Yummy, and I cannot believe this top deck breakdown. It's only 2 decks. Because it's Mitsurugi, Yummy, and Yummy. That's basically the same deck. It's 2 deck types and 1 Lunalite. And the 1 Lunalite beat all of them. What the heck? The only non-Yummy, non-Draco Tail. The only one. And it won the whole thing. And it 4-0'd from top 4 to grand finale. 4 freaking 0. Insane. Master Duel has a Lunalite problem now. There you go. Master Duel's got a problem, ... Oh boy. And it's furry. Oh boy. Okay. Let's see. Cam Neal. Top tier Cam Neal. He faced off against Lunalite, right? I think so. Or no, Mimigol randomly clapped up here. Good job, Cam Neal. Main deck and triple Dark Ruler No More. That is crazy. I talked about this in my Yummy guide as one of the main ways to counter Yummy. Didn't think people would actually be main decking it for Master Duel, but here we are. There you go. Good job, Cam Neal. And then we have Bori. Anything crazy with Bori? Nothing too out of the ordinary here. Maybe the Mitsurugi player's got to play Wuso. Come on, it's just one Wuso. You're losing to 1 Liger. The Wuso will kaiju the Liger. All right, good job, Bori. Nicky Boy. Droplet instead of Dark Ruler No More. All right. what could be difficult about Droplet is if they have a Herald of Arclight, you can't send monsters from the hand. I think that'd be a big reason why you'd not want to play this in a Yummy meta. But it worked out still. Good job, Nicky Boy. Those are the Mitsurugi Yummies. Now the pure Yummies, I mean, one of the Yummies is not actually pure. It's a... we have like an issue here. I don't know what these... The Yummy deck type is considering pure Yummy, Fiendsmith Yummy, Sprite Yummy, Mimigol Yummy. All the different Yummies are going into Yummy on the tier list. And then Mitsurugi Yummy is pretty much just Mitsurugi Yummy. It's an interesting situation. But if we look at the tournament tops of Yummy, what are they? Fiendsmith Yummy. Now, to be fair, there are Mitsurugi Yummies, some of them playing Fiendsmith also, and they would just be Mitsurugi Yummy. So I think that's kind of fair. And it's just really weird and extraordinary that there's a random Sprite Yummy. Like, this is not going to happen again. So do we even have an issue? Now, Marco with Sprite Primite Yummy. Interesting. Yep. You start off with the Primite, which then goes into the Yummy, which then goes into the Sprite. Okay. We got 2 bridges, 3 different deck types. Hipster with the Corridor Colossus Madness. Yep. Just be toxic, floodgate him out. Well done. And then Slayton with the Mimigol Yummy, making use of triple tactics thrust, being able to set powerful cards like Dimensional Barrier and Heavy Slump. He almost won with Heavy Slump. It was crazy. Good job, Slayton. And then we have Yusuf. Yusuf, the top 8 Mad Lad with Pure Yummy. This is the purest form of Yummy. What I think of when I think Pure Yummy. This, there you go, triple parry resmap and 1-for-1 in addition to your 11 one-card starters here. Not playing Sky Striker, that's why. He took Sky Striker out. Interesting, no drones. You know, he may be saying, I don't want to further lose to a card like Max C, right? Let's minimize our Max C weakness. Justinian, Draco Tail, anything crazy here? We're on Brain Infusion. Kindiaka? I'm very sorry, I'm not saying your name right. Kindiaka? Kindiaka. No Brain Infusion. Labatros, no Brain Infusion. Triple Cartesia, triple Cartesia. Cartesia is replacing Branded Fusion. You'd think it'd be used in addition to it. Again, triple Cartesia, no Branded Fusion. And then, Mugiwara, triple. We were all debating Branded or Magistus. I guess everyone was wrong. It was all about Cartesia. What the heck? Even though Khan is still on Branded Fusion here, that's fine. And Mobile X, also on Branded Fusion. There's a lot of Branded Fusion. Okay, to be fair, the Cartesia and Branded Fusion seemingly are equally doing well. And release the Kraken. 2nd place. Good job to you. But then it all comes down to Moonveil winning with Lunalight. I don't know if he has any notes, but I think I'll put more effort into checking. If any of you win the Meta Weekly and you have notes that you want to talk about after winning the event, I will gladly check it out. So good job, Moonveil is on only a single copy of Heavy Polymerization. Ain't no way. So well done to you. He got top 16, then 1st place. Good job. I am going to be ripping away the Mimigol. I think I'll leave the Sprite Primate because that's a bit crazy. Maybe I'll make Sprite Yummy. I don't know. So we could keep this more fair and more accurate. I'm shocked after 2 events that, you know, I guess combined they are technically tier 2, very close to tier 1. But it is insane that Draco Tail is going up. Because look at the arrows. Lunalight up, That makes sense. Ryziel Mitsurugi down. Malice is just still. Onomat Ryziel going down. Malice is going to be dropping off a cliff by next week. They won't be here. Yeah. Malice will be gone. This tier list is not accurate yet until at least, I would say, 1 more week. 1 more week. Maybe, yeah, just 1 more week, including other community tournaments and then another Meta Weekly mixed with the other events. We'll have solid looking tier list spread with, unfortunately, the Yummy engine being a bit split, but they still may become tier 1 together. Not as quickly as I thought because, damn, Draco Tail is just that powerful. So the question is, should Marshmallow had been semi-limited? Was like this uncalled for? Was Arclight limit to 1 uncalled for? Or was it actually a mistake to not semi-limit a Draco Tail card? Well, we still have yet to see Vanquish Soul with K9. That could mix things up. Theoretically, Vanquish Soul K9 can have a better matchup against Draco Tail than Yummy, and then that will equalize the 3 top decks, if that's the case. And maybe that's Konami, what they've been planning for, is what I'd be thinking. They made it a 1. And there you go. That is the Meta Weekly with the new cards. Crazy. This, in a way, is not good. The meta is less diverse. They tried to avoid this issue by doing pre-hits, but they forgot to pre-hit the Draco Tail. And now we're going to be in a situation where we're waiting for Vanquish Soul K9 to then further fix the meta. Because now, what does this look like? Malice and Ryziel plus its Ryziel variants. The same freaking thing. Now, it is interesting that Lunalight is a silver bullet to both of these deck types. This one Lunalight deck, if you were to look at the deck list of all other decks here, 15 other decks, it beats all of them with a single Liger Dancer. That's insane. What the heck? All right, that's it. I'll see you next week on Sunday. Let's go.